Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We're still working on Henry IV Part 2, and today we get to hear from Falstaff from the end of Act 3, Scene 2, which, if you remember, started with a couple of justices like chatting about various stuff, and one of them, Justice Shallow, was talking a lot about things, and Justice Silence was not saying a whole lot. And they had brought some men to Falstaff to see if these men could fight in his army, whatever. And Falstaff chose the least good men because the best men bribed Bardolph to not be chosen. So at the very end of the scene, Falstaff sort of does the, hey everybody, let's go, but then he remains on stage to be the last one to talk. So it's a very well, gentle gentlemen, on Bardolph, lead the men away. And then he's by himself. As I return, I will fetch off these justices. I do see the bottom of Justice Shallow. How subject we old men are to this vice of lying. This same starved justice hath done nothing but prate to me of the wildness of his youth, and the feats he hath done about Turnbull Street, and every third word a lie, duer paid to the hearer than the Turk's tribute. I do remember him at Clement's Inn, like a man made after supper of a cheese paring. When he was naked, he was, for all the world, like a forked radish, with a head fantastically carved upon it with a knife. He was so forlorn that his dimensions to any thick sight were invincible. He was the very genius of famine. He came ever in the rearward of fashion, and now is this vice's dagger become a squire, and talks as familiarly of John of Gaunt as if he had been sworn brother to him. And I'll be sworn he never saw him once but in the tilt yard, and then he burst his head for crowding among the marshal's men. I saw it, and told John of Gaunt he beat his own name, for he might have trussed him in all his apparel into an eel skin. The case of a treble hautboy was a mansion for him, a court. And now hath he land and beefs. Well, I will be acquainted with him, and if I return, and it shall go hard, but I will make him a philosopher's 2 stones to me, if the young dace be a bait for the old pike. I see no reason in the law of nature, but I may snap at him, let time shape, and there an end. So Falstaff feels like he's getting a little bit too big for his own britches, because now he wants to take down like this justice who is just a liar. But Falstaff is also a liar, but he thinks he knows that the prince will take care of him once he becomes king. So anyway, we'll find out how well that works out for him, and tomorrow we're in Act 4 already. We get to hear from the Archbishop of York, so that means maybe some of the plot of what is there actually going to be a war? Maybe we'll get to touch on some of that tomorrow. Who knows? I'll see you then.